Hello YouTube, this is Miles here, Paradise and Hot, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada. And today we're doing Houseplant of the Week number 8. So that's about 2 months worth of these. Anyhow, just want to say that I thank everyone for coming back and joining my channel. I want to send a quick shout out to Craig for the tip on Venmo. Thank you so much, I appreciate it. I'm going to be going a little bit later today to pick up some potting mix down to the LV Plant Collective. Maybe I'll shoot a little video down there while I'm there showing what I did and how I got it. We'll see how it goes. But anyhow, let's get into it. Plant of the week. Today's plant of the week I've chosen is a Rex Begonia. And the particular Rex Begonia I've chosen, as you might be able to see here, is the Looking Glass Rex Begonia. And the reason why I have all these sitting next to me is because it's a very easy begonia to propagate for me. It's really easy for me to raise, and I just, it's gotten so big and out of control. Here, I'm going to put a split screen right about here, and I'm going to show you my main mother plant. And as you can see, this plant is roughly 3 feet tall, maybe a little taller, and it's very full. And this is the plant directly after being pruned of everything I have sitting next to me. So as you can tell, it was a really full plant before I pruned it, and it's still kind of a full plant. It actually kind of likes a prune. It always bushes out and fills out more. I get more branches every time I do it. So as you know, usually when you cut a plant, it tends to send it into an accelerated growth rate. You just got to know not to do it too often as to exhaust the plant. But as it being August, it's now time to harvest my begonia, and as I have done. And with the begonia, it's kind of fascinating because you can take not just a cane of the begonia and root that up. As you can see, right here I have one rooted. You can see that in there rooted quite well. Okay, so it'll root from the cane, and this one's not quite ready to plant up, but it'll also root. Because whenever I put a cane in water, I always pull the bottom leaves off, but I always stick the leaves in water. And as you can see there, hopefully, it's also rooted up, just the leaf. And leaf propagations, I have potted up. This is one I have potted up now for probably about a month. The leaf looks a little ragged, a little worse for wear, but it's still alive. And I see, and I don't know if you can see that, and maybe I'm seeing things, I don't know. But I think I'll see a growth point come out of this eventually, and it should start off into begonia. So as long as I can keep this leaf alive and generating some energy down there, I think we'll be all right. This plant, for me, like I said, has been very resilient. Let's see here. Let's go down. Let's make sure I cover my list. The Looking Glass Begonia. If somebody thinks they have a different name for this, please let me know. But from all the research I've done, because it came with no name, I bought it at a grocery store, is Looking Glass Begonia is the closest I can come to it. I find it very easy to grow. It has amazing silver leaves with these dark green venations. So it's really kind of a silver with a green dark in it. And then the underside of the leaves, and these leaves feel kind of rubbery too. The feel of them is like, it's kind of like a wet rubber. It feels like, I don't know, but they're not wet. It's kind of a weird thing to say. But anyhow, they're red on the underside, which really gives it a really nice tone because the plant usually fills and grows leaves on all sides. So you always see the silver, but you always see the red from behind too. So it really makes a beautiful contrast. And as red is one of my more favorite colors, actually it's my most favorite color, this plant was just so attractive to me that I had to pick it up. Now about this plant here, let's see. The care of the plant, it likes really bright light. The brighter light you can give it without direct sunlight, the better it'll grow. I find myself actually rotating this under the grow light that I keep it under so that it keeps an even full growth. Maybe every week I rotate it, whenever I do a good watering on it, and that just goes right into the watering of it. These begonias, the Rex Begonias, I find, at least this one, do not let it dry out completely or you will kill it. They like their soil to stay moist all the time, but not soggy. So it's a kind of weird, delicate balance that you have to achieve with them. But once you find it, and you find your rhythm with the watering of this plant, you'll find that it'll grow fantastically for you. It won't get dry edges on the leaves, because that's also a sign too that you're letting it dry out a little too much. You won't get the dry edges on the leaves. And I do give this tap water. I don't give it RO, anything special. Give it tap water. The tap water I do dechlorinate, as I've talked about in other videos. I also use Super Thrive, which is a plant vitamin. that I've been using now for a couple of months, and I'll give a review on that pretty soon because I have found that it is it's creating stronger leaves, more, what do I want to say, more correct leaves, I guess I could say, leaves that look more like what the leaves should look. You know, sometimes you get a plant and it's growing and the leaves are always kind of wonky, misshapen, and there's no pest, nothing to be found, and you wonder, is it a virus? Could be just a malnutrition thing. I guess plants have that problem too, as we know. All right, so that's watering. Now we're going to talk about room temperature. I just keep this plant at a room temperature. Don't take it outside in the sun. It's going to cook. Doesn't like it hot. I've never really let it get cold or chilly, but I think so long as you keep it above freezing, it would be okay. I think it's something you would have to get the plant gradually used to. I don't think you could just put it outside on a 30-degree night or a 38-degree night and it'd be fine. But I think if, like a lot of begonias will grow outside fine in cooler temperatures. Let's see, this plant is, let's see, for feeding this plant, now my king begonia, because it's under a very bright grow light, grows really rapidly, and I do feed it liquid karma every other time I water it. So it does get a lot more food than most of my plants, and I do feed it year-round because I don't really have seasons with my grow lights. Well, not right now. There's a little sneak preview of something coming up. There's a grow light video I'm about to do on the one behind me that's brand new. So we might have seasons soon, but we'll get into that later. Anyhow, the Rex Begonias, even though this one here is a cultivar, which was probably made here in America at some point, I couldn't find any history on where the looking glass came from, so I'm not sure which nursery or which cultivar exactly it came from, but it looks to be around since the 1990s, so it's been around for a little while. And the Rex Begonia, the cane begonia bit, those are from actually Eastern China. So I would imagine in Eastern China you've got like tropical to cooler tropical. So I'm thinking that's why it could maybe handle a cooler temperature. But again, it's a cultivar, so you don't know what the parents are and what the requirements might end up being of this plant. I just know that this one's really turned out to be an extremely hardy begonia for me. I've had other begonias that I don't have anymore. I've started getting back into begonias as I found a really cool wax begonia not too long ago. But we'll see if I get any more. But this is definitely one I will not be getting rid of. This is definitely a staple in my houseplant collection. This is something I love. And if you actually are interested in acquiring some of this, and you don't have a means to find it where you're located, let me know in the comments below. We could always talk on Instagram. I'm on Instagram at LV Dr. Houseplant because I'm doing some home services now for people in their houseplants. So my Instagram's kind of gone more into a business direction. So where YouTube's going to be more about me just talking about plants and what have you, and helping spread the education, joy, and information that I find with you guys. So anyhow, back to the begonia here. I think I've pretty much gone into. Now, with this particular begonia, I did buy it back in 2014, and the original plant that I bought is no longer around. The mother plant was just looking really sickly, and this is before I really started doing a lot of research on it. I just kind of took care of it my own way, and I chopped up a bunch of pieces because I noticed that it did propagate really easily for me, and it always tended to live better in water for me than it did in any kind of soil or mix or anything. So I had some propagations, and when we moved here into this location, actually, the mother plant got left outside by mistake, and it was April. So in April, we're starting to get sometimes into the 90-degree temperatures here, and it did. It got like 95 degrees out, and it cooked it. But I had like 3 or 4 propagations, maybe about this size. So I just started a whole new one. And as you can see, from 2019 to 2022, it's grown into a beautiful mother plant that I've literally taken maybe 30 propagations from that for friends, for plant swaps, and now I'm preparing a bunch to actually put up for sale. But I'm also interested in plant swapping with you guys. So again, comments down below. Anyhow, I would say this is definitely easy to propagate. And I'd really like to say that if you did get one of these begonias for me, I sure hope that you would share it with your friends. It's I don't know, I guess it's the best friendship begonia plant I've ever come across. It's just so much fun. Alright guys, well that's about all I have to say today about the looking glass begonia. That's Houseplant of the Week. This is Friday. And that's someone at my window. Alright, thanks guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.